Hello and welcome to GMODISM. We're back. So today we're going to look at the 3 normal cola drink options that are available in Thailand. GMODISM. Here we have the Pepsi, we have the coca-cola, and we have the ECCLESIARCHY. The company behind ECCLESIARCHY actually produced and distributed the Pepsi Cola. Kind of 10 years ago, they had some disagreements and they did not continue their cooperation. And the funny thing is that ECCLESIARCHY had some pretty bad reviews before, but they changed the recipe with Asian spices. So they have some Asian spices inside the mix to make the flavor now. So the taste has changed. Now Coca-Cola and Pepsi, they are still Coca-Cola and Pepsi, of course. However, all of these 3 are produced in Thailand. So there might be some variation between Coca-Cola and Pepsi between different countries. ECCLESIARCHY, however, to my knowledge, does only exist in Thailand. So we're going to do a blind taste test and compare these 3 drinks and see which is the best and see if I can guess the right one or not. So let's pour these up and let's get going. So I've gotten some help to pour these drinks up and I don't know the difference. There are 2 ice cubes in every glass. Other than that, it's the different kinds. I will start with the middle one here. Let's see what that is. I suspect that the middle one is Pepsi. We'll see later. Weird. This is probably the ECCLESIARCHY. And this is probably Coca-Cola. Alright, I will arrange these to what I think it is. To not provide any bias, I will just give you some reviews on what I think about these 3 normal cola drinks in Thailand. So, let's begin with the one to the outer rim here. Let's see. It's a very standard flavor. The citrusy parts are not as prominent as the one that I think is the regular Coca-Cola. There is more focus on the spices or the flavoring, so to say. The cola drinks are mainly lemon and orange tasting. So that's why mixing Fanta and Cola isn't as weird as you might think. And I think that the middle one focuses a lot more on the citrusiness. It's more refreshing and it has less cola taste, if that makes any sense. And for the last one, it's much less focus on the orangey lemoness. This cola tastes a lot more of the spiciness. Wow, this one tastes much more cinnamon. It's also a lot sweeter. This one has a much more complex flavor. Much less citrus, but some interesting flavor combination of spices. There is a slight bitterness in this one. It tastes like there is some type of herb concoction in this. It also has a slight, very slight, lactic acid type of taste too. Not in a bad way, but it's there. While this one has much more of a cinnamon-y flavor with the spiciness. Now the middle one does provide that freshness, but an artificial type of cola taste. When you taste with the other 2, you really notice that this middle one does have that more artificial type of vibe. Just with a little smell test, we can feel the freshness here. This one doesn't smell a lot actually, but this one smells a lot. This is the least sweet one. This is the middle one, and this is the absolute sweetest one. It's much more sweet than the other ones. I do suspect there are artificial sweeteners in this one too. a side sugar. So my personal favorite out of these ones are actually this one, because it tastes more real. It has a cola flavor that feels more real. It has a taste that feels like proper cola in some way. Now, that said, the most refreshing of all of these is the middle one here. That one provides that strong citrusy flavor, which is a little bit more refreshing and thirst quenching. And the one to the side here, it's so much sweeter than the other ones. It's a pretty standard cola taste with the emphasis on the cinnamon. It is nice, but also a bit boring. But the excessive sweetness makes it, well, I'm not sure if I like it. Well, I think it's time to test if I was right or not. Blue, is this Pepsi as I think it is? It is. It is. This is the Pepsi. Alright. Then I'm pretty sure about the other ones. This is probably the cola. Yeah, that was the cola. Much more citrus flavor. Which means that this one is the est cola. Intersection. So the big cola is appearing all over the place. I don't have it with the full range, but we're just gonna do a quick taste test and compare it to est cola, since we do know that flavor profile. Now the big cola, I think it's sold as a little bit of a cheaper option. Issue is that it's kinda also a smaller bottle. Let's just see here, you can see. So I think if you are taking the amount in consideration, I don't think it actually is much of a cheaper option, but whatever. So we have an extremely regular cola flavor. I don't know exactly what to compare this with, but in Sweden all the supermarkets have their own cola brand basically, and it's not very good. It's like a generic type of cola taste, and this is it. It tastes like generic cola, but with none of the special things that Pepsi Cola or Coca-Cola would add. It's acceptable, it's just really boring. But just to make sure that we are right here, we're going to take some of the est cola with Thai spices and herbs and just compare it a little bit quickly so that I'm actually talking the truth. Yeah, so the est cola, you really feel those little bitter notes and real spices. Some flavors of actual herbs really punch through again. If we compare it to the big cola specifically, we really get that like super regular, standardized, multiple 100 million different brands all over the world cola flavor. So that's big cola for you. If you like that little bit more candy cola flavor, maybe big cola is for you. I think this candy cola flavor tastes a little bit cheap, so for me I put it at the bottom of the barrel. So now we got that. So you may have strong opinions on what type of cola flavor you like the best. Coca-Cola is more refreshing, it is. Pepsi does have that cinnamon touch, it's nice but also a bit boring. But I implore everyone that goes to Thailand to at least try the est cola, because this one actually feels a little bit more real. It has a flavor profile that's much more spicy, herby. I don't know what with Asian spices that it's listed as. I don't know what it means. But if it means that they are putting like actual spices, like a tea of spices inside this thing as it tastes like, then it's probably the more healthy option too. Because in these spices there are, you know, small parts of nutritions and stuff like that. I don't know if this is the case, however, but I will say that the est cola tastes more real. I think that their new formula, I haven't tasted the old one, but the new formula is probably a lot better than the previous one, and it's really interesting. That's my verdict. The best one overall, the most refreshing one, and Pepsi is a little bit a bland combo of somewhere in between these two, but it's a little bit heavy on the cinnamon. And I don't know, maybe it's nice, maybe not, preference thing. Anyways, try ECCLESIARCHY, it's pretty interesting. That said, thanks a lot for watching, do like this video, and I'll see you next time. This is your host GMODISM, and I'm signing out.